stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to Madison, Illinois, and Gateway International Speedway, now known as Worldwide Technology Speedway, just across the Mississippi River from St. Louis. I'm Tony Trapasso. He's Matt Metler. Thank you so much for making this part of your Wednesday Hump Day activities. And Matt, yesterday was rollout day in iRacing, and there's a lot of guys that are scratching their heads tonight trying to figure out a quick set in this car.
Well, ludicrous, the song was Roll Out. Everyone else is saying Hold Out because everyone is having all kinds of issues with this banshee of a car at this racetrack. Tony, if you recall, just a few short nights ago, I believe we were in that 30-second bracket somewhere in there.
We were in the lower 30s. It was like 32. I think a couple of guys dipped into the 33s.
Correct. And the Moonshiners, these guys have just been lit on fire, magic, bad, fast. And look at the times that we're seeing on the board right now. I mean, this car is really giving everyone fits. You can hear it in their voice. The winds of change blowing right now, very strong throughout the iRacing servers. And we get to be on top of the pit box for the evolution. And
it smells like what comes out of the southbound end of a northbound horse, if you ask me.
Well said, sir.
Again, yesterday being rollout day, I've been watching the forums today like a hawk. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of guys. It's about a 50-50 split on the dirt side of things in iRacing. Half the people think that, yes, they fixed it. Half the people think, oh, crap, they broke it. And it has to do mainly with the winged sprint car in iRacing. You now have to lift, and it's pissing people off, and I find that funny as all get out. You guys get to see behind the Iron Curtain for a quick second as I bring up the point standings coming into tonight. Big shocker, who's at the top of the pile. And that's not the point standings. Excuse me, folks.
It's 79 time now.
Yeah. Go ahead and talk about Peanuts, considering it's neither a pea nor a nut.
Well, hey, the points even in this series have been electric. I mean, we've seen battle at the top.
There we go. That's the right points.
There we go. That's what we're talking about.
Shane Davis currently sitting atop the pile, not too far ahead of his buddy and compatriot, Kenny Coppola. Brandon Zimmerman's still quite a ways back. Kyle Holden closing the door on that one. Barry Sanders up to 5th. Very strong run for Sanders. Then you got Wortman, Carmichael, Davis, Belmonte, and Binder rounding out your top 10. The biggest mover, though, is going to be down there in 15th. as Jeff Taylor jumps into the top 18 in points after a great finish last week for Dark Tempest.
Yeah, Jeffy T, a.k.a. Jeff Taylor. I mean, he has been on a roll as of recent. He finally got Lady Luck on his side, too, Tony, and that's been a big game changer. I mean, heck, look, how about the 81? Last week he was having a great run until late, and then doom and gloom. But that's another guy I'm going to be looking at here as well tonight. But, Tony, we always talk about the plate tracks being the great equalizer. Perhaps Gateway tonight slips into that category because of this brand new physics model. Everyone's going to have to adapt and learn to drive this car in real time tonight. Whoever does that the best, maybe a shocker, maybe a sleeper pick, but this race tonight really is wide open for anybody, in my opinion.
Well, there he is himself, the man you were talking about, J Money, Jeff Carson. Going to be the first one to roll it in the 81. And the other one who is is coming out on track with a good head of steam, King Kenny himself, Kenny Capola, out of South Lyons, Michigan. That beautiful Toyota Camry.
Yeah, Mr. Excitement himself. He's got many names. Sasquatch, I call him Mr. Excitement because he's just so fun to watch on the racetrack. If he's in the race, you have to keep an eye on him. Few other guys that have been red hot in this series as well as qualifying gets underway. Tony, who do you like early given the challenges that lie ahead for these drivers tonight?
Well, as far as what these drivers are going to have to face with this new setup, it's going to be hard to bet against Davis and Capola. Two setup wizards as Capola immediately goes to the top of the pile. Shocker! It's going to be hard to bet against those two guys. Chris Davis, he's got an outside shot at getting there. There's Shane Davis in that chromed out, again, I say Miami Vice looking paint scheme on that car. But, it's hard to bet against the favorites. Belmonte, he knows what he's doing to tune on his setup. Capola goes even quicker on his second lap. Good grief.
Barry Sanders, I call him Sandman, the silent assassin. He is so good over these long runs. And you look at him, he's had speed early on, too. I mean, just so much great talent in this league. And if some of these guys could just get an ounce of good luck.
You mean Nick King?
Well, like Nick King, Mr. Braceface, because he catches cars to the face, it seems, all the time. Some of these guys, I mean, if they have one thing go the right way for them, I believe they're in the top three fighting for it.
You're absolutely right. And, we might as well call Nick King Duck Hunt because he's on the hunt, but he needs to keep ducking. But all joking aside, though, I have a good feeling about Nick King tonight for some reason. It just, it's that gut feeling where something's about to happen. As you see Davis getting it sideways, coming through 3 and 4. That's going to be the modus operandi for those of you who are English majors. That's my big SAT word of the night. That's going to be the same thing we're going to be seeing out of just about everybody tonight. Is slipping and sliding on those seams. iRacing rolled out a new physics model for this car. New physics model, a new aero model, and a new tire model all in the same day. Less than 24 hours ago. Which means that, the guys that know how to work a setup, know the base. Oh, excuse me, folks. Meatball hoagies were a bad idea tonight for dinner. But those guys that know the basics to a setup, what to change on this car to get it to manipulate to do what they want to do. Once you know the basics, that'll work across the board on just about any car in the world. You can get it figured out pretty quick here.
Heavens to Betsy. Sorry about that. Just had a massive lightning strike hit right outside the house. Oh, my God.
Well, you just scared the bejesus out of me.
Sorry, Tony. I still can't see. That was literally 10 feet out. Wow.
You're lucky you didn't lose power, my friend.
I don't know how I did.
Do you have to go? Do you have to go change your shorts? That's the question.
The Storm Chaser just might. That one totally got me off guard.
There he is. We were talking about him earlier. The boss man, Barry Sanders, in the button box, 88. As we are waiting on him to post his first time, coming down to turn number 4, nice and tidy for the 88. First lap, gonna put him 7th quick. Not too shabby.
Qualifying there.
Very very solid. As here we go, we're watching one half of the Mullins clan. That is Darren, the father of the two. As
those guys were fun to watch last week, weren't they?
They absolutely were, going after each other like they were, but unfortunately, Junior's not here tonight.
Yeah, I was kind of searching there through the entry list, and I didn't see him.
Well, let's see what Darren can do. You see, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt Kyle in the point standings. He had just gotten past his dad, and now this is gonna let Darren get back past Kyle. I think those two are going to be in a seesaw all season long. Ooh, big tail wag for the 64, coming off of 4 across the stripe. 19th quick. See if you can pick it up on lap 2.
Did you see how the back of that car just jumped out like it caught like a 30-mile-per-hour wind to the side of the car there?
Yeah, exactly, and that's got to be terrifying. Especially, let's take a look at the dashboard of what these guys are doing through the corners. You're still doing north of 100 through the corner. That's going to hurt. And that wall comes up quick. Sideways again. He is sideways on throttle. Most of the guys are suffering on corner entry. He's getting it on corner exit. Maybe have gone a little too far on that setup change.
And sorry, Tony, that's what was happening to me when I went out there and turned some hot laps. As you know, we were just here. This car drives completely different. I was plowing on brake horribly, and the minute I tried to transition to throttle, it was like the Gen 4 car. It just kicked out, and I was, having to get up on the wheel. I had my hands full.
That's what you call a tight loose situation.
Snap loose, I believe.
Well, to quote Sterling Marlin, it's a loosey, tighty, kind of like driving an old log wagon.
Oh, Tony, no one's better at pulling those out of the hat dynamically in real time than you, man.
I've got 40 years of shit to talk about.
Oh, old Sterling Marlin. How about him when he got out there at Daytona and pulled the fender off of his race car?
Yeah, true story. The stranger checking in the live chat. Good to have you with us, my friend. And you're right. Nick is a soldier. And, yeah, as long as he's not being the hunted, he's fine. But still waiting on a good number of drivers to try to lay times here. Bobby Justice, Nick Atwood, Matt, why are you in there?
Yeah, Nicholas Atwood, Ryan Huff, Garrett Crawford, Schmeets, John Binder, Caden Norfry, and others. You're right, Tony.
Matt, how many times do I got to remind you, bud? You can drive as a Ghost Crew Watch spot.
That's how I was there tonight.
Huh?
Wait a minute. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you're listed in the session, dude.
I see that. That's an error on my part.
Yeah. Oops. Which means I'm surprised you can actually see anybody during qualifying.
Normally I shouldn't be able to, but maybe with all these updates, maybe this is one that's went the right way for us.
Well, who knows? But there is Garrett Crawford out of Rougemont, North Carolina. As he's getting up to speed, he's on the timers. First lap for him. It was a tidy lap through 1 and 2. There wasn't a lot of drama going through there. Let's see what 3 and 4 are going to bring for the 69 time. Right down on that bottom. And no drama again. What is this lap going to be?
That looked pretty smooth. Probably the best one we've seen so far.
Only 18th quick, though. Looks like he might need to put a little drama in his life.
Goose is fast and on the verge of out of control.
This is true. And don't forget, while we're under the caution, I want you to hit the pace car.
Well, we can't do that in iRacing. That's probably a good thing, but we can make every attempt to.
There you go. As Crawford going to cross for his second lap, does not improve. Timer runs out. Qualifying done and dusted. And let's take a quick look at the starting order. It's Captain Chaos himself, Kenny Coppola, setting quick time here tonight. Let's get that off the screen. With a 34.453. A full tenth to the good over Kyle Holden. Wow. Shane Davis,
Yes.
Aaron Matthews going to roll off in row number 2. Chris Davis and Barry Sanders in row 3. Row 4, Chad Sullivan and Paul. Hold on, I want to make sure I pronounce this right because I've been yelled at already in the pronunciation page. Paul Gallimore. In row number 4. Wayne Bowden and Connor Carmichael in row 5. And rounding out the top half of the field, Brandon Zimmerman and the 4 of Nick King.
That top half of the field, guys, I apologize. It's storming out, so if I cut out, I apologize. That's the top half of the field. And rolling off P12, that's going to be the 4 of Nick King. Residing in 13th, that's the 42 of Warren Young. 14th tonight, that's going to be the 81 of Jeff Carson. And rounding out your top 15 with the lap of 35.09, that is the 38 of Ed Broyles Jr. 16th, the 6 of Justin Belmonte. Look for him to move towards the front later on in this one. Certainly electric last week. 17th belongs to the 83 of Tim Wortman Jr. 18th, the 69 of Garrett C. Crawford. 19th, that's the 7 of Chris Spear. And rounding out your top 20 competitors, that's the 2 of Darren Mills. 21st, the 16 of Jameson Middlemiss. Be nice to see if he could have a good change of luck tonight. 22nd, the 64 of Darren Mullins. 23rd belongs to the 41 of Jordan Schmitz. 24th, John Binder rocking the 33 as always. 25th, the 13 of Justin Sorrell. Rolling off 26th, the 93 of Ryan Huff. 27th, Atwood Nicholas in the 24 ride. 29th, that's the 22 of Bobby Justice. And rounding out the top 30 as that pace car begins to pull off, that's going to be the 44 of Caden Northride. Yeah, so many unknowns tonight. I really think this could be almost like a super speedway with the fact this could be anyone's race to win. But hey, look who's right up front. They're already touching each other. The 77 and the 79 teammates usually right where they start as those lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to fire off here with our first laps under green. Grab a salad and pop some whippets because it's time to get it on in Gateway. The 77 and 79 time, boys, makes no time charging towards the front as they send it off into one. Look at Kenny Coppola there getting loose, washing up the racetrack just a little bit, doing a great job. Side-by-side action of his teammate. That's Shane Davis on the bottom. There's the 59 time himself. Kyle Holden rocking the top. It's still a drag race. Coming down now into turns 3 and 4. Kenny Coppola out in front. Caution. I think Schmitz got smeared. Oh, Tony, we knew this was probably a strong possibility. And he got a full serving of Gateway and a piece of a Schmitz. He got sent for a ride there. You're right, Tony. 3 wide typically doesn't work here. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. You know what? I was kind of thinking the same thing. Not as bad as I thought there for Schmitz. Could have been a lot worse there as he potentially avoids, a lot bigger of an issue here early on, working just lap 3 with our first caution flag of the day. Stand by, Tony. That's a great question. I can definitely tell you that. We are getting 6 sets tonight. I believe that's including the set they start on, so they should have 5 sets of sticker Goodyear Eagles in those pit stalls. Holy deja vu from other places. We can't escape it, Tony. But talking about punishing tires, look at that track temp, a blistering 111 degrees. And the relative humidity only at 53%. So these cars are at max horsepower as well. Yes, sir. Yeah, and that's you're like a s'more sitting outside of a campfire getting ready to get toasty. The only good news may be that partly cloudy scenario. Can we get a cloud over the track from time to time? We'll see. But we're going to be sweating here at Gateway, as it's only going to get hotter from here in sim time. As you see, the lights now go out on the pace car. Field being led by, of course, the 77, Kenny Capola. His teammate, the 79, Shane P. Davis, on the outside. They're going to set the front row. And right behind them, the 59 Acola, Kyle Holden, and Chris Davis. They've certainly been in the mix as of recent, haven't they, Tony? Yeah, that's just going to make these guys push to be even better once they kind of get on that same level. That pace car is going to pull down onto pit road. We're just going to get back to the action on the racetrack. Waiting for Kenny Capola to hit that loud pedals. He comes into the Geico restart zone. Shane P. Davis. And look at the restart. Look at the wiggle. Woo! I did not expect that, Tony, especially with only a couple green flag laps. But that's going to let the 59 of Kyle Holden jump up into second. That's going to split up the teammates. And look who's up. Look who's in fourth. Aaron Matthews in the 5. Chad Sullivan up 2 and now up to 5th at 21 on the move. Oh my God, it's a jamboree in the grass. Barry Sanders involved, multiple cars down. Whoa, easy there. All right, well, Gillimore there. You know what, Tony, I think this is just everything kind of boiling up with, the testing session here. The car's not handling right, and very uncharacteristic mistakes right there. You just don't see that out of these drivers. Absolutely. I mean, crunch. I mean, that was demolition derby style in reverse. And Tony, I know we've seen that a time or two, but I got to think that's just everything kind of boiling up to this point. I mean, even the 11 there makes a very rare mistake there as lap traffic's trying to clear and get started. We go up to the eye in the sky here. The 11 comes off the top. That's going to set it off, and then everyone just collects and funnels down into the grass. And then the extracurricular activities there is Barry and others are trying to get by, and the 13 gets stuck in reverse. Stuck in reverse. Carmichael catches a break for once. And look who made it through, the 81 of Jeff Taylor. No, not at all. I hear you there, Tony. I still think, the added stresses, all the animosity from all the unknowns, I think that kind of boiled over into it, but you're right. You can't do that on the racetrack. You got to have better situational awareness than that. Yeah, I think I saw this on YouTube. Oh, blindsided. Now, keep in mind, this is like a catwalk at your local home track. Has no idea it's coming. Just blindside comes up and smokes him. As obviously the car did. Right, and they were just an innocent bystander. Oh, copy. The aggressors. No, he was just sitting there under, on the cool down there and just got blasted at wide open. And then the rest is history. He comes over off the spotter stand, clocks him. That was just an ugly look. Tony, I love you to death, buddy. You got to have a little temper tantrum. You got to have a little drama in there, but you can't have it getting to that level. Man, has this been exciting or what? 2 early cautions. The K-Man, Sasquatch at the point, Shane P. Davis on the inside. 59 time himself. Kyle Holden, Aaron Matthews, and here, let's go ahead and do it one more time. Pace car pulls down, waiting for them to drop the hammer. Then he serves the business to the rear tires on that 77. And look at that car just get, as Cletus McFarland would say, that is getting it out on the racetrack as he shoots out. How did they make it through there? Moonshiners, baby, that's how. No. Guess we're going to find out right here for certain. Ooh, how did... That looked like my wild save at Michigan on Friday night. Kenny Capola, Kyle Holden, Shane Davis, Aaron Matthews, Chad Sullivan, the only mover inside the top 5s in 5th. He is up 2 spots. Just as I say that, getting good in the neighborhood, there goes the 3 of Carmichael, charging hard on the bottom. He's finding a way to get that car to rotate. That right there is just outside the top 10. That's for 12th place on the racetrack. Uh-oh. It looked like that was a duck hook off the tee. That car just came out of there just at a 45-degree angle. Watch this. Gets a little high there on the racetrack. And then watch this, Tony. Just... That's what I was experiencing in my hot laps, and I believe that is snap loose, correct? Okay. Ten four, Tony. Yeah, well said there, Tony. I guess from my perspective, it looked like the car just came around, but that was, like you said, from throttle input a little too aggressively. But thanks for breaking down the difference there in the two. As we see him now going to come down pit road here, potentially get that race car assessed, maybe a couple right side tires, but lap 18, maybe that's a little bit too early.
And we're back at Gateway. I do apologize for my mic being straight the fuck off for the first 19 laps. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for my use of German there. Kenny Capola currently shows the way. Cal Holden, Shane Davis, Aaron Matthews. Now, to break down that last accident you just saw, that was not snap loose. That was throttle loose. That was somebody what we call stepping on your own junk, where you pick up the throttle way too aggressively for what the grip level is with the rear tires and the track surface. Snap loose is when you're still off the throttle and the car just swaps ends. Kenny Capola going to have the button as we get ready to turn him back loose here. 77 shows the way as he has for all previous 19 rotations of this surface. Prilosec, don't fail me now. As the field working its way down the back straightaway, Capola, Holden, Davis, Sullivan, Matthews, Bowen, Belmonte, Young, King, Mullins, your top 10 right now. As the field works its way into the 3-4 complex, you guys didn't get to hear me say it earlier. It's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some of that awesome St. Louis barbecue, because it's time to get it on at Gateway. Race fans, it's show time!
And we're back to green flag action here at Gateway. 21 laps now in the book. And just like the past two restarts or three restarts, Kenny in the 77 jumps out 3 to 4 car lengths over his teammate in that 79, Shane P. Davis. And he is back to side-by-side racing there with the 59 of Holden. However, Holden's going to drop down behind Davis, give him a nice push here going down the backstretch as they now separate going back into the turns 3 and 4 complex.
Problems for Jamison Middleman as he went off track. Let's take a look at what happened to the 16 on the restart here. Starting deep in this piece. And just, again, on throttle, around she goes. And it looks like the problems continue for Middle Miss. Oh, no, that was when he came back on track. But let's get back up here. Barry Sanders, after collecting a little bit of damage early on, that's Ryan Huff to his rear. Ed Boyles Jr. right in front of him. Those guys have that now sorted out. As Chris Davis and Darren Mullins. Davis sideways again.
Oh.
Carmichael sideways.
Carmichael and Davis in a tandem drift, and Carmichael's able to keep it in the grass. Traffic gets by. Caution back out on the racetrack. I thought we might be able to stay green there, but
looks like Caden Nofry and Ed Boyles Jr. getting the worst of that one. Keep your eye on the 38 here. It is going to pop off a little bit in front of him, but right here is what brought out the caution flag. Sees the smoke, overcooks it, and backs it into the wall. Caden Nofry noses it into the wall. Ow. There is the 44 Nofry.
All the smoke there on the racetrack.
Oh, he's trying to avoid it, playing dodge him, and overcorrects and shortens that Camry up by about a foot.
You certainly can't tell this new physics model is not just wreaking havoc on these drivers right now. But Tony, we've been here before, and every time we get one of these updates, we feel the panic, we see the stress, but we always, with the masterminds, with these setups, always find a way to get everything all aligned.
Okay.
One more time there.
So the 29 did have help. Carmichael did an amazing job to save that. How he did not get involved in any of that, I will never know. But Hunter Carmichael's save of the night.
Oh, by far. And I'm glad we had that extra look because I didn't see that initial contact there that we seen with that final look. So we absolutely had some help. That's what got him sliding to begin with, or out of shape. And Carmichael, as you said,
look how far back the 64 is. And just dives it in there, and 29 gets loose. Carmichael gets loose. And holy crap, Jeff Carson missed it again. Matt, I'll be right back.
Jeff Carson, man, the luck has shifted for that man. Gets through again unscathed. A couple weeks ago, that car would be broken in half by now. Because you got to imagine this new physics model just wreaking havoc right now a little bit on the racetrack, affecting these drivers. You can see it. Even how these cars react when they go to catch the race car. Everything's different. But, you know, when you got guys like Kenny Capola, Team Watson Racing, these other great competitors, they'll go do the homework. They'll get these cars back to where they're used to having the grip levels and the responsiveness. But 26 laps of competition right now from Gateway Motorsports Park, just outside of St. Louis, the gateway to the west. 77, your leader from the get-go. Shane P. Davis, his teammate, has been hot on his tail there in second. Kyle Holden, Aaron Matthews, virtually no change really inside the top four. In fifth, though, Wayne Bowen up 4 spots in that 78. He's having a strong run, as is Justin Belmonte, up 9 spots in that 7th place position. And I believe he is the biggest mover of the race. Wrong.
Ryan Huff.
16th is the biggest mover of the race.
And there you see Huff.
Way to go, 93.
Right behind the boss man, Barry Sanders, who's unfortunately one of the biggest movers in the wrong direction right now. At -9. Lights should be going out on the pace car. There they go. Here we go. And ladies and gentlemen, if my mic drops out, I do apologize. I'm actually not feeling 100% right now. And I don't think anybody wants to hear me regurgitate.
Hey, Tony, we got your back, brother. You got to step away. You got to step away. I'll keep the party going, and that's what teammates do, buddy. The 77 cleaning up the tires there, getting ready to go back. Green lights are out on the pace car. Again, Kenny Capola, Shane Davis, they're going to share the front row. Row number 2 is going to be Kyle Holden and Aaron Matthews. They have been in a dogfight. Everyone has been, except for the 77. He gets a beautiful launch on these restarts. Gets a nice little cushion of safety here. Coming through the turns 3 and 4 complex one more time. Let's see if Sasquatch here can do it again as that pace car pulls off. What is Mr. Action going to drop the hammer here? So we're about to enter the Geico restart zone. He's going to stand on it, and look at that 77. That thing just goes. See ya, and look at the 79 getting a big push from the 5 of Aaron Matthews. That's going to help him clear the 59 of Holden there on the top side. So there you go, the 79 and 77, 1-2 in the dogfight right now between Aaron Matthews and Bowen. Rocking the bottom right now. He's going to send it into the corner. Can he make it stick down there? He can so far. But look at Matthews trying to roll that top, carry that momentum. A couple guys been having trouble up there on that high side. Look at the wiggle, the bob and weave, and we stay green.
Be still my heart. We got a green flag lap in as we've got some deep stuff going. As Carson's starting to climb his way forward, working the inside of Barry Sanders in the 88. 41 of Jordan Schmidt right there, as well as that Toyota of Carson. He's in a domestic war zone right now.
Well said. He often finds himself in one. But look at that car. That paint is beautiful. It is untouched as he's doing battle there with the boss man in the 88, Barry Sanders Jr. In Virginia, there he is in the 81 machine. And we know the longer the run gets, usually the better that driver of that 81 gets as well, as he likes those long ball setups. And just like that, caution again on lap 30. Oh. 38 having more problems here. 38 pulling out of the fast there as we go back to the replay. Everyone kind of conveyor belt style here. Oh. He may have had to jump.
What happened to the 13? No. What happened to the 13? Because he started this whole mess. Thanks, iRacing. You broke another race car. I give up. I give up. I absolutely give up. iRacing keeps breaking race cars on us, Matt. I give up. Watch that again. And tell me this should have been a caution. No contact. 13's nose gets sent. How? And then they play bumper cars behind them. Let's watch that bullshit from another point of view.
With the eye in the sky here.
Watch the daylight between the cars.
Oh my God.
Why do we even bother? Seriously, why?
Well, because 99.9% of the time, Tony, we love it. Things go as planned.
Okay, hold on. It's nothing to do with the men that drive in this league.
Nope, not at all.
They proved that the last 2 weeks because the only 2 cautions we had were the stage cautions. 3 weeks in a row.
100%.
Now, iRacing rolls out a new rollout, and they break the fucking race car. By the way, it's going to be a green-white checker finish for the stage. Stage ends at 40.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. No means is this a reflection of the talent on the racetrack. These guys have been absolutely flawless.
Lights
code,
out
software
good. There's no way we should be under caution number... I stopped counting.
No.
5.
You're absolutely right.
5.
This is not on them at all whatsoever. This is purely just, this is what happens when you have new physics and you kind of force it out there, but that's pretty much the model with software and tech. Get it out there and then we fix it as we go. Unfortunately, you know, these guys and others that put so much time and effort into it have to suffer.
Well, with any luck, this will be a good yardstick to measure by. I usually tell leagues to take this week off. The whole week. Because when they roll out a new physics engine, setup shops and guys that work on their own setups, you're going to need to give them 7 days to get a handle on that new physics model. These guys have had less than 24 hours because iRacing broke the car. Plain and simple, this is now one of 12 cars that I can confirm iRacing broke. Because I was watching some dirt servers earlier to see if what they were saying about the sprint car was true, and I dare say that the 360 sprint car race I watched was the bastard child of a dumpster fire and a train wreck. Which is exactly what these guys are experiencing through no fault of their own, I might add. This is not the driver's fault. This is iRacing's fault, and I'm going to stick by that.
Lights out on the pace car once again. Teammates sharing the front row. Can Sketty Eddie do it again, a.k.a. Kenny Coppola here. As we hit the Geico restart zone and watch the 77 just walk the house. I don't know how he does it. Here comes 59, a Holden charging in on the bottom. Shane P. Davis going to be able to keep him at bay without the push from the 5 of Matthews this time. There's that first real battle on the racetrack. But, oh, look at the crossover move. Not sure he meant to do that. There. Oh, these guys are still racy back here. There's the 41. There's the 3 of Carmichael. As they get a little tire smoke action. 3 wide. The 42 of Warren Young on the outside. How did he keep that car off the wall?
Well, he's going to have to... This is going to... 3 and 4 is a little bit wider than 1 and 2. You can almost get away with it. Lock up for the 4 of Nick King going through 1 and 2. They're still 3 wide. And there we go.
And Donkey Kong ensues. As someone got the bumper, got sent around. That's the 65 Rocky Ford Mustang.
21 saw it, wisely backed out of it. As Nick King just, gets a hip check from the 65 and then gets finished off by the 21.
Talk about some busted teeth. He literally ate the back of that Ford Mustang. Didn't have anywhere to go.
Well, that's our stage. Coppola, Davis, Holden, Bowen, Matthews, Belmonte, Davis, King, Young, and Carmichael, your top 10. With that, we're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and be back right after this. And we're back at Gateway. And Darren Mullins, both using a little bit of pit strategery. It's an all Darren front row as we get ready to go back to green, Matt.
Yes, right, Tony. And why not, given the circumstances, go Las Vegas high stakes? There we go. Big change at the front. And like you said, it's D time at the front. All Darren front row as those lights are out on the pace car. Pace car is going to pull off. Here we go. It's the D&D show at the point. 79. He's going to be in row number 2 with his teammate outside of him. Row number 3. Green flag in the air. Look at the launch by Darren Mills in that number 2 machine. He's going to get a heck of a jump. But look at Rocket Man, Shane Davis in the 79. Taking the script from the 77 of Sasquatch there as he shoots the gap. And he's going to get out into fresh air. And his teammate, Kenny, is in the thick of it right now as he is under siege from the 59 of Kyle Holden on the bottom and the 64 of Mullins on the top side. Kenny's going to back off there, give himself some breathing room, but he can't be too cautious because here comes the 5 of Aaron Matthews as he is there. Now the 78 of Bowen working hard on the inside of the 77. Hopefully everyone here can just play nice, give each other just a little bit more space as we're still trying to deal with this new AI physics model as it's thrown some curveballs at these drivers tonight. But look at the tight racing. You can't deny these guys this. I mean, they are some of the best at the business of high-flying racing action that you will ever see in league racing in prime time. Shane Davis continues to shine the way here at Gateway, taking full advantage of that fresh air. Darren Mills trying to change that he is suddenly up 18 positions. Little pit wizardry in there and all helping into the equation, but it's working for him as he has that 2 in second spot. Kyle Holden nipping at his heels, though. That 59 is in third. Kenny Capola now in fourth, back 3 from where he started. Wayne Bowen rounds out the top 5 as they run through lap 43 of competition. Side by side, here we go again. The 59 coming back at it. He is not going to give up. That man can be relentless. Kyle Holden, he never takes it easy out there on the racetrack. If it's a position available, if he can take it, he is going to get it cleanly done in that Camry. Beautiful execution by that race car driver. 77, you can do it. I can do it too. He's going to follow him right through there. And now suddenly Darren Mills going the wrong way as he gets stuck on the outside of the conveyor belt. Now the 78 of Bowen, he is going to challenge him for that spot. He has the advantage. He has the momentum. And he is going to clear the 2 going down into 1. A lot of big shuffling of the deck here inside the top 5 off of that restart. Shane P. Davis continues to shine the way, going a little bit back further in the field. That's going to be the 93 of Justin Sorrell. And there's the 13 of Justin Sorrell. He has had some issues here early on as he's trying to recover and rebound. As he's doing battle there, as you can see on the racetrack, close proximity, that Ford Mustang just in front of him. Big push, big wheel off the front of that Camaro coming off the corner. As you see now, the 93 starting to close in. Ryan Huff, this back around the 16th place position. Sorrell and Huff both up 9 spots respectively. And you can see him just starting to come into the frame. Barry Sanders Jr., he's lost a ton of ground here early, now in 18th. But that was due to some extracurricular activities out there on the racetrack. Barry Sanders trying to rebound. He still has plenty of time to get it done as we're not even lap 50 in the books here of 160 laps, the scheduled distance. Barry Sanders now starting to close back in on the diffuser of that TRD Toyota Camry. Barry's going to get a great run off the top side here. Look at him up the top shelf. Drag race between the 93 and the 88. Who's going to lift first? They both lift and break at the same time. Oh!
That is Chad Sullivan was looking to make it 3 wide. Luckily, Huff had it well spotted and backed out. because the 21 was coming whether anybody wanted him to or not. Talk about a party crasher. And it looks like after that first segment, these guys started to calm down a little bit. Everybody getting a better handle on the racetrack. Everybody getting a better handle on the race cars. As we take a quick look at the weather, it's dropped 1 degree. Both track temperature and ambient air temperature. As right now, Chris Davis having connection issues. That's not a good sign. As right now, we're going to go back to John Binder, Warren Young, and Jeff Carson starting to go after each other. Darren Mills right there in the deuce as well. And, you know, we talk about Carson as being the bad luck kid, but, oh, my, that was...
What was that?
I believe that was Warren Young. No, it was Hunter. Who's in the 42? Warren Young. Okay, I did have that right. Disappearing from time to time.
Yeah, a little disappearing with some parts and debris flying. Here comes Binder back on the attack. But look at the 42. He's really starting to make that middle groove, starting to work for him there, just sailing it in the corner, able to make it rotate up top there. John Binder, though, once again, having a great run, starting from deep in the field, up 12 spots, currently in 12th, just outside the top 10. The 42, Warren Young, up a couple as he's trying to get that car inside the top 10 for the first time tonight. 2 by 2, here we go. There's the 2 of Darren Mills. If you remember, he was your leader on the restart. That 2-tire strategy, since this model change, seemed to have gone the other way, because you could put 2 tires on this car and it would be a rocket ship. Does not seem to be the case anymore, as Darren Mills, you can tell, is...
Actually, he did not use a 2-tire stop. He had a 4-tire stop under the caution just prior to the stage caution.
Tony, thank you for that. I thought he had taken 2.
Yep, no, he and Darren Mullins did the exact same thing. They both hit for 4 there. It's not going wrongly for Mullins as much as it is right now for Mills. Mullins currently holding down 6th position. A lot of breathing room in front of him, a little bit of breathing room behind him, as we're going back to this battle for 16th between Wortman and Mills, as that is your closest battle on track.
This is the Hornet's Nest right here around that 16th position. Look at this gaggle of cars. That 21, he has not been afraid to stick his nose in there and come on into the corner with a full-fledged afterburner at times. Look at Barry. I mean, you can't fit a piece of paper between these guys at times throughout these corners. They give himself plenty of separation there, as now the 83 is going to get about car length and a half, 2 car lengths over Barry Sanders as they're wiggling. Look at Mills continuing to wiggle in that 2 off the corners. He is having a handful of it right now. Tony, you are right. That Camaro is just not working. It's not doing what he's trying to do input-wise into that steering column, and that steering wheel inside the cockpit of that race car.
It's just not down in the track like a lot of other cars are. And what I mean by that is you can tell, you know, the car grips. Either he's overdriving it or the car is just not right. And I would have to say, with, you know, knowing Darren like we do, the car is not right.
It almost looks like the weight balance is way off on the car. You're right. It looks like it's skating on top of the blacktop. It's just not in the racetrack.
And a driver can feel that. They call it being down in the track. You hear Kyle Busch reference it all the time, usually with expletives attached.
Yeah, but that, I mean, his strategy from the race car really works. I mean, what a state win. Oh, the 42 had a big loosey-goosey moment on the throttle up there off the bottom. Able to keep it straight. John Binder going to take the spot now up to 11th, knocking on the back door of the top 10. Here's the 21 getting back at it with Barry Sanders Jr. in the 88. And he's got someone lurking for that spot, working the top side in the Ford Mustang as well. As it is still hot and heavy right here around this 15th place position. With Sullivan, Brandon Zimmerman's going to get the spot. Wharton Jr. in the 83. And don't look now, but Nick King in that 4, he is just trailing these guys in that 18th position. trying to recover some ground he lost early in the 4.
Nick King on a good recovery drive right now. And the Zimmerman and Wortman still going after each other in front of them. Those two guys are going to have to get that sorted out pretty quick because that 4 of King is quick. Not Bisquick, is quick.
Yeah, he is in business right now, full send in the 4. You're absolutely right. That car is really starting to come alive. Going back through the field, just a couple spots going back to the HMFIC. Barry Sanders Jr. in the 88, Mike Brava Delta. There's the 21 of Chad Sullivan. Bad Chad Sullivan trying to chase him down. I mean, he has been laser welded on the back of that Sanders car as far as the line goes, it seems at times. Just can't seem to close all the way in on that 88, but he is doing everything he can, trying to mirror the line that 88 is running around the racetrack. Is now the 21 is going to take a little bit of a higher entry here, see if he can arc it in a little bit better. But that differential still stuck right around that 3/10 of a second. Carmichael, the 29 of Davis. These two always seem to be nose stem to stern, as you like to say, Tony.
Two of the most sideways cars earlier in this race. And here they are inside the top 10. Davis has 9th. Carmichael currently sitting in 10th. As Davis has big connection issues there. Holy cats.
Yeah, everyone's ping across the board right now is kind of erratic. So that tells me the servers are having problems, not per se the drivers, and that makes sense given what we were talking about earlier in the broadcast, Tony.
You never run on rollout week. If you're a league owner out there planning your next season, don't schedule anything during week 13.
But I'll tell you what, Tony, if there was a league to do it that could pull it off, these guys right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, look at how they've adapted to this new model over the short course of 60 laps. I mean, we couldn't get out of the cautions, and these guys have just figured it out. And you can tell they're not going as hard as they'd like to, but they're making it work out there on the racetrack, and that's what I love about the dynamic about this group in this league. They are going to find a way to produce an excellent product on the racetrack with whatever car, whatever package they have out there, and make it exciting. I mean, Hunter Carmichael there, right in 10th. John Binder closing in on him like he always seems to do here in the long run game. And Darren Mullins in the 64. Definitely the better of the two there with that pit stop strategy like you were talking about earlier, Tony.
Currently holding down a solid top 10 position. He's got Jordan Smeech behind him, kind of just lurking right now. Both those drivers tied for biggest mover at plus 16 in 6th and 7th. You know, and unfortunately, where the hell is he? Yeah, Darren Mills being scored as the last car on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, something is just not right with Darren Mills' car. Don't know if he made an adjustment on that pit stop, but you know he is probably doing every kind of dance he can do in that side of that race car to get a caution flag so he can get down to pit road and work on it. So we take a look now there at Wayne Bowen. The 78 of Kyle Holden. They are going back at
78 of Wayne Bowen and the 6 of Justin Belmonte.
Thank you. The other part of that not working correctly is throwing me off a little bit as well, not seeing the correct schemes on cars. But Tony, thanks for being on the ball there and covering my butt. Belmonte having a great run here as well, up 11 spots. Tony inside the top 5. Aaron Matthews getting a little slideways there, coming off the corner. That's going to be right on that 10th place position. He's still back a couple spots from where he started, but he's having a solid recovery run there in the 5. And John Binder continues to climb the ladder the longer we go in that 33, really coming to life.
There's that Carmichael and Davis fight is now turning into a Carmichael-Davis-Matthews fight. And Bender. Bender right there as well. So throw a blanket over 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And you got a little bit of a gap back to the 81 of Jeff Carson, almost 2 seconds adrift of this fight here.
Yeah, great battles in a couple of groups here on the racetrack. This is certainly one hot pocket. And while all this is going on, Special K, Kenny Coppola, able to get the lead back in this one. And he has just drove off from his teammate, Shane Davis, like Paul Revere in the midnight run. While we were covering action towards the back of the field, Kenny went up there, lit the torch, and just walked away from everybody, as he now has almost a 2-second lead over Shane Davis.
Basically, half the distance to the back straightaway is the gap. That's incredible.
I don't know how this man does it. I mean, this...
Okay. What's even more incredible is we average a caution every 1 lap of green flag during stage 1. Now here in stage 2, we just did 20... No, we've done 30 laps without a caution. So tell me these guys don't know how to adapt and overcome very quickly. Because right now, that's Carson and Barry Sanders starting to heat things up. Chad Sullivan right there as well. That is a 3-car dance for 12th place.
Look at Jeff Carson continue to be on the move, and that car is squeaky clean. I love the paint job on that race car. Probably one of my favorites. Look at Barry Sanders. He's getting a little racy now. He's going to turn it down inside the 81. Let's see how far he gets ready to drive it into the corner. He sends it in the corner. Carson backs it up. The 21 is going to skate by on the bottom. Let's see if Jeff here can fire back off the... No, he is not able to, as the 21 there just rolled the corner and kept his foot in it. And now he is hard on the charge, going after that 88 of Barry Sanders. This right around that 12th place position, just outside the top 10. Great recovery drive for him. As you remember, he was caught in a big one early, and he has basically had to come from the woods all the way back up to the front. Now knocking on the back door of the top 10 on lap 69. What a drive by Barry Sanders.
Sanders finally starting to move in the right direction. We've gotten a long enough green flag run that 88 starting to wake up, as it always does. Another one that's starting to wake up. Hunter Carmichael, he's usually has long run set in his cars. He's got that one figured out, moving in the right direction. Currently sits +2 in the 8th spot. Your biggest mover of the night, though, is going to be that man in the 41, who at one point was the last car on the lead lap. Now currently sits in 6th at +17 from where he started.
He is 5-0 right now in that 41 Ford Mustang, that's for sure. You said biggest mover of the night. He's got the rhythm of Gateway right now, it seems, suddenly. I mean, the performance of that Ford is just all of a sudden sparked and up 17 spots. That car's looking in the racetrack, as you like to say, a lot better than it was earlier, Tony.
The team made the right adjustments under that stage caution. They're getting that car settled down, and he's starting to make his way back forward at an alarming pace. As a matter of fact, last time by, he was one of the 2 fastest cars on track. Guess who the other one was?
Oh, you know who it was. At a 35.55, Kenny Coppola, the Rocket Man, now still maintaining that 2-second lead plus. These guys are just incredible, Tony. Just running a few laps and knowing what to do in the pits and how to adjust collectively as a body to put on a great race. I mean, it's like 2 different races. I mean, from the start of the race to where we are now, this is just incredible. I mean, the lap times continue to go down as these tires continue to wear on. And yellow on the racetrack, just as we're saying that.
Ryan Huff, it looks like. What happened to Ryan Huff? There you see the 93. Looks like he might have trouble coming off of 4 here. Oh, just overcooks it on throttle. Tried to loosen that car up coming off, loosened it up a little too much with the right foot, and around she goes, and he immediately tows. We are back under caution.
Back caution once again. Gateway.
As that storm that's going on down in Florida starting to affect Matt a little bit more. Kenny Capola, Shane Davis, Kyle Holden, Wayne Bowen, Justin Belmonte, Jordan Schmeets, Darren Mills, Hunter Carmichael, Chris Davis, and John Binder rounding out your top 10, as we are going to have a Saturday night dash for the stage caution, but we're going to be right back right after this.
Copy.
And we are back at Gateway. As the lights go out, we're going to have a 3-lap dash for all the marbles here at Stage 2. And once again, it's the Capola and Davis show up at the front of this piece. Kenny Capola got to be ready to start kicking puppies, as he had a 2-second gap when that caution flew. Pace car is in. Capola has the button, brings him into the Geico restart zone off of turn number 4. And wastes absolutely no time jumping on the loud pedal. Gets a good getaway. Davis now under pressure from Holden as they haul it off into turn number 1. Door to door, Davis and Holden for that second spot. Capola has the clean air I don't think anybody's going to catch him right now. As they are fanned out, that is a Waffle House situation down the backstretch. With cars scattered, smothered, and covered all over that racing surface. We're staying with this battle for a second as it is door-to-door right at the front of this field. Holden finally wrestles the spot away from Davis.
What a battle at...
2 to go.
What a battle at the... Sorry about that, guys. Still having connection issues here, trying to stay with you. What a battle at the front, like you were saying, Tony. Shane P. Davis, man, this guy never fails to disappoint. Neither does the 59 himself. Look at these guys just having a nice little old school, old-fashioned dogfight here. The Hornet's Nest just keeps on a brewing. There's the 21. The 2! He just rocketed up the racetrack. Major impact with the wall. We remained under green flag conditions, at least for now.
You see the 21 get hella loose. That's going to cause everybody to start scattering. The 2's going to send it in there, just missing Jeff Carson. But he did the right thing. He held it up there and jumped on the brakes. There should be a break in the wall coming up. Nope, he's going to stay out there for the stage.
Yeah, the pits there close, and that man saves Jeff Carson. That's what you do. And Jeff,
Oh! Just as the stage comes to an end, let's watch this one again.
Oh my. It's
Sullivan, Sorrell, and Spear getting into it.
This all coming to the stage.
There's the bump from the 21, a bigger bump. Oh my goodness.
That looks like a bunch of tow missiles getting rattled off the chain right into that outside wall. This mayhem breaks loose as the stage break.
Davis Capola. Well, we missed who the stage was because we went back and looked at that. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee it was Kenny Capola that won it, and the 13 might get popped for unsafe pit entry there. But let's go back and watch that again, as we're going to see from the eye in the sky. As here it comes. The 21's going to get... Okay, that's where it started. 65 bangs to 24, or bangs to 4, lets off, and as soon as he lifted to not wreck the 4, just got flat run over, and the 13 nowhere to go.
Yeah, that Slinky got sent home there. That's exactly what happened, Tony. Hit the nail right on the head.
So watch the purple car, the 29. He's going to get into the 4 coming off the corner. Right there. Backs off to not turn him. 13 hits him. 21 hits him. Finishes him off. 83 and 7, both nowhere to go. Boom goes the dynamite. And it just so happened to be right at the stage caution.
Did you see the 13 get it SmackDown style from 2 cars going into the wall? Oh.
Yeah, that was bad. That was very bad. Chris Davis, though, wins the battle off pit road. Oh,
29?
No, he didn't. Davis, Schmitz, Matthews, Zimmerman, and Young all came down pit road on lap 73. So the caution just prior to the stage break.
Taking a page out of Darren Mullins' playbook. Does that work pretty good for him?
No, it didn't. Oh, yes, it did. I'm sorry, I was thinking Darren Mills.
Yeah, the true it was disastrous for Mullins. He was able to make it work. He stayed pretty much inside the top 10. But look at this. Big change at the front, like you said, Tony. A little more gambling going on here. Why not? Chris Davis now at the point. Schmitz up 21 spots in the 41. He's going to share the front row with Chris Davis, Aaron Matthews, Brandon Zimmerman, Warren Young, Kenny Capola, Kyle Holden, Shane Davis, Wayne Bowen, and Justin Belmonte. That's the top 10 right now, as those lights are still on that pace car here from Gateway Motorsports Park.
As we get ready to turn them loose for the third and final stage. And all season long, anytime we've gotten Chris Davis into clean air, he has been completely lights out fast.
It's like Mr. Clean covered himself in Crisco and gave him an afterburner. That man is gone. But Jordan Schmitz may have something to say about that, as does Aaron Matthews and company. But nonetheless, great strategy there. Clean air is a big part of the formula for success in this race car, or it has been. Those lights now out. Strap Grandma in one more time. Make sure she's got plenty of kernel-free popcorn, because it's about to get rowdy here just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. We're on the Illinois side.
I was about to say, screw that. We're just across the border. Send her across the river to get some Ray's barbecue.
From the Loop. The Loop across the river, St. Louis, Ray's barbecue.
Absolutely.
Now I'm hungry.
I'm eating a pear. Davis going to have the button as field rolls out at turn number 4. Pace car is in. Geico restart zone coming up. When is Davis going to drop the hammer? Wastes absolutely zero time.
Look at Davis go. That car just sat and get on the restart looking like Mr. Excitement. Oh, there goes the 42. Able to keep it out of traffic and keep it amazing. What a job by the 42 of Warren.
Race control had it right spotted as they threw the caution before he even hit the grass.
What a heck of a job there by the 42. That could have been disastrous with multiple cars.
And look who's around him. The 3 fastest cars of the night. And he just goes in and bounces off Kenny Coppola sideways, more sideways still. Caution comes out. He goes into the grass.
Yeah, he comes up there and cross-checks the 77. Just those tires cold, just didn't have any bite.
It was like a 5'8". It was like a 5'9" rookie in hockey going to
Shaquille O'Neal.
No, yeah, he was. Never mind. Going up against Jaromir Jagr. Yeah, good luck, kid.
There you go. 77, Jaromir Jagr for the Boston Bruins. I mean, that 77 didn't even flinch. That's the even crazier part.
Exactly. Wait a second. Jagr was 77, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
There you go, then.
Aha!
It's kismet.
The minute you said Jagr and I said 77, I was like, wait a minute. Tony had this one preordained. Still can't believe the 42 kept it out of the race, out of traffic, off the fence. Incredible driving there by that. You don't see that every day.
That was great driving by everybody around him not to kill him.
I mean, that should have been, as you said, Waffle House smothered and covered. And it was anything but.
Yeah, that absolutely should have been a melee. As we're checking in with our favorite drink on track right now. There is John Bender in the Sundrop 33. That is going to make Miss Cindy Edwards a happy camper. Let's go Sundrop. Currently sits in 12th, so good climb. Plus 12 for John so far. He's moving in the positive direction, and that's the key thing here tonight at Gateway. And we may have lost Matt again. So, up the front of this piece, Davis, Matthews, Schmitz, Zimmerman, Coppola, Davis, Holden, Belmonte, Bowen, and Barry Sanders Jr. rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. Lights getting ready to go out on the pace card this next time by. And if you are watching, thank you so much for watching, chatting along in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe here to Sim Racing Media. I promise my potty mouth won't be there for the rest of the week. But one thing we will be doing for the rest of the week is we will be covering action 7 nights a week here on Sim Racing Media. A couple weeks we're in hiatus, so bear with us on that one. Next race, I believe, I am just double checking. Sure I am. Why can I not? Why does this never work for me? There we go. Yes, our next race will be the Dynasty Racing League Pro Series, round number 21, this coming Saturday. That'll be live from The Rock at 7:50 Eastern Time. And then Matt and I will be back on Sunday for Sunday Night NASCAR round number 16 as we go to the first true road course of the season, Sonoma. And that'll be a 7:10 start on the broadcast on that one.
First stop out at wine country.
Don't talk to me about wine country. I live in wine country. What they have out in California is abomination.
Well, this is true as you're from that Finger Lakes region of New York. Great wineries all around there. Go on a wine crawl or a wine tour. It's always a good time. If you haven't done it, check it out. As that pace car checks off the racetrack, Chris Davis in the 29 going to do it all over again. Can he keep Aaron Matthews and Jordan Schmitz and company at bay? Geico restart zone. It is showtime once again for that Toyota. Oh my goodness, calamity corner carnage as it's a, oh my.
Holy crap.
It was like a nuclear bomb got dropped on the 495 Beltway in rush hour traffic.
Keep your eye on the outside of row 1. That's where the fun begins. Spins his tires, goes down into the 41, and collects everybody. Except for Jeff Carson.
Except for Jeff Carson. I can't help but laugh. Carson, the curse is broken. Go win this thing, man. How did Jeff Carson get through that? That's usually where he's pulling plastic and composite out of his teeth.
Yeah, I know, right? However, Coppola cut a huge piece of this one. I don't know how that's going to affect the 77 for the rest of the race. Down into the 5, Coppola nowhere to go. The 56 nowhere to go. The 6, the 88. 33 gets on the binders just in time.
Yeah, the 6 there took a wicked shot to the back. Oh, Whiplash City. I mean, watch this again, Tony. This is just very uncharacteristic of these guys here on the restart.
It's the new physics model.
Exactly. Man, the 5 there just gets used and abused.
Oh, okay, the 33... Oh, no, the 33's got Bluetooth suspension. You can see it from here.
Oh, that's unfortunate. You're right. That's not connected. John, having such a good run in that 33 machine. And now he has a tire that is not connected with the rest of that race car. You can see it just kind of doing its own thing there. That's going to be extensive time in the pits to get that repaired. Heartbreak for the 33. He seems to be one of the biggest losers there on that restart debacle. As the 5 didn't believe the 5 there just didn't get hooked up there on the restart there. Spun the tires and it all uncorked from there. As Tony said, the fuse got lit and boom went the dynamite. We're going to have to re-rack him, restack him, do it all over again. Is Chris Davis looking like the master magician out there as he still continues to hold that lead off of that wizardry he stole from the 64 Darren Mullins, making it work as well.
Yeah, but look who's starting right behind him.
Just as I say
Shane P. Davis and Kenny Capola. Good luck, kid. You're going to need it.
What man and Chronic right behind him.
There you go.
Getting a page out of Jay and Silent Bob. You want to talk about striking fear into the hearts of race car drivers everywhere when you're the 29 and you look up and you see the 79 and the 77. Oh, thank you, Tony.
That's terrifying.
That is. Still a great looking paint scheme too on Shane's car.
Oh, it is, even with all the dirt on it. You know what's even more of a terrifying view? That.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
As we look back from Shane Davis at Kenny Capola. And he's starting to the inside of Shane.
Yeah, if I'm the crew chief on the 29, I'm going to tell him just to reach up there nonchalantly, pull that rearview mirror down.
Now, hold on, real quick. Shane Davis's mom said he could film anything. I don't think she meant become a pace car, bud.
I want to thank her for stopping in on the broadcast. Plates are out on the pace car. The field re-racked, restacked, ready to go here one more time. The calm before the storm at Gateway. So we're going to get ready to rip these V8s back to life up to 9,000 RPM. It may be quiet now. I promise you it won't be that way in a minute from now. Chris Davis on the 29. He's going to have the button. Shane Davis, terrifyingly fast 79 pilot there. And his counterpart, the 77 Sasquatch, Special K Kenny in the 77, right behind the 29, striking fear into the hearts like Earnhardt did back in the day. Here we go one more time. Can Chris Davis do it again? We're about to find out here as we hit the Geico restart zone. He's going to stand on it and he's going to send it again. Kenny's getting a great restart as well, but look at the 59 pushing the 79. That's going to about put him, the teammates side by side through the corner. Kenny's going to get a great run. He's going to force himself into the sandwich or the meat in the sandwich position. And now it's a three-car drag race for the first place position as the 29 rifles him down the backstretch into the 3 and 4 complex on the attack, on the charge, on the inside. How does Capola make that car stick? That is insane. Is now the 29 gets caught on the outside, can't match the performance. He slides back to second, and he's about to get absorbed by a face full of Shane Davis in the 79 as he's looking to pounce, and here he comes.
29 overcooks the corner going into 1. Davis absolutely on all over that chance. As where did Chris Davis go? Oh, there he is. Inside of Barry Sanders.
Capola purple in sectors 1.
Well, Capola just got Capola just got sprung into clean air. Of course, it's going to be fastest lap of the race. Wow.
A 30.
And we are back under caution. Justin Sorrell again.
Everything's looking good in the neighborhood right now. Sorrell there at the 13. He's on the bottom. Oh, he's going to slide up and just catch a piece of this 24. Around he goes. And once again, great avoidance there. Because I don't think anyone else really caught a piece of that.
Only the 6.
Only the 6 a little bit, Justin Belmonte.
Belmonte's the reason he went the full way around. But Belmonte had no choice.
Yeah, I don't think he had a way to avoid that from happening, Tony. You're right.
But look at that lap from Capola. 34.6. is a full tenth quicker than anybody else has gone.
And just look at the lap times from where they were back when we first started practice until now. I mean, these guys continually get better at an alarming rate when everything is basically stacked against them, because they're still trying to pilot this Twisted Sister or this Wicked race car that, in my opinion, doesn't handle anything like the other variant at all. And they're out here, they've completely transformed this race. They're running like we're used to seeing them doing for the most part, and they're making it work. And I can't tell you, Tony, you know how hard it is to do with, you know, 29 competitors out there on the racetrack. I mean,
29 Type A personalities, normally it doesn't end well. Just go ask any Little League All-Star team.
That's right. I mean, how to have the knowledge of what to do these race cars in the pits with what you have, what adjustability you have. It's just incredible to watch these guys go to war here and do this. 77, 79, Shane Davis, they're back to occupying the top two spots here on point. Kyle Holden seems like he's been back there in third, fighting for his life forever. Wayne Bowen, Barry Sanders Jr., look who is back inside the top five, Tony.
With a pug-nosed dog for a car.
Getting puggy with it.
Yeah.
That seems to work. How many times have we seen that with the splitter being kicked up like that? Somehow.
This is the first time with the new physics model.
I know.
And I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm using the phrase physics model, because that's not really what it is. It's an aero model and a tire model. I've been spending a lot of time in Second Life as of late, since I've had time off from broadcasting leagues that are on hiatus. So bear with me when I say that. It's the same idea, though.
Yeah, Barry Sanders might be telling him in the pits, no, don't fix that. Leave that kicked up just like that. What a drive by Barry Sanders Jr. I mean, he was basically, worst case scenario, right after the drop of the green flag. He was right in the thick of it. I mean, he got kicked over to the next county. They stripped him of his zip code, the whole 9 yards, and he's right back in it. Not in fifth place, looking for more.
However, there's somebody that just moved into the top 10 that I don't want to jinx by actually mentioning his name.
I'm not going to say it either.
Oh, come on. I was hoping he could write the hate mail to you.
There's actually two of them inside the top 10.
Oh, my God. They're restarting next to each other.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong here, Matthew?
Nothing. It's going to be perfect. Lights are out. Time. The most terrifying front row you'll ever see. The 79 is Shane Davis, Kenny Capola, Shane Davis, Kyle Holden, Wayne Bowen. Here we go again from Gateway one more time. Churn and burn in the Geico restart zone. We're back off again. Look at the restart by Kenny. How does he not have all-wheel drive? That is just insane. Drag race right behind him. Kyle Holden, Shane Davis. Shane's going to send it on the top side. He's going to let it fly around the top, rotate. He's back to P2. Look at Wayne Bowen kind of doing the same thing. He's going to get it on the outside of Barry Sanders. I'm sorry, that was not for a position. They're still battling, jostling it out there. Hunter Carmichael now up 3 spots in 7th. He's got the 64 of Darren Mullins fighting him hard on the outside.
There's two drivers we didn't want to mention right behind them as well. One of them might be dropping out of the top 10 here as Tim Wortman comes up the inside. Works the inside. Wortman gets the spot. Meanwhile, Nick King and Mullins are not done with things yet.
No, Mullins is rarely done. If he's got any kind of life in those tires, he's going to be looking to pounce. Look at him get into the corner as he's trying to get a bead dialed up on the 3 of Hunter Carmichael. Mullins' car really seems to fire off well on those fresh set of Goodyears. As does Carmichael's. I mean, these guys are running 34.92. I mean, they had the same lap time in 6th and 7th position. 34.92 for Chris Davis and a 34.92 for Hunter Carmichael. I mean, you can't get much closer competition than that inside the top 10.
Oh, we got problems on the backstretch, and look what Coppola did. Kenny, stop setting quick time of the race, because every time you do that, they screw up in the back. Oh, no. No. Say it ain't so.
Oh, no. Turn the lights off. Carry me home. The car looks pretty good.
No, it doesn't. Look at the right side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not seeing the Bluetooth suspension. What happened to the 81?
Oh, look who he's around.
All's well. Oh, my God. What in the world was that? It was like the 21 got hit by a dump truck going 100 miles an hour. Watch this. That's Carson luck. That's the type of stuff that happens to this man.
That is a hardware failure on the 21. That car just turned right.
That's a skivvy's failure in the 81 for good reason. Hopefully he's able to continue. I thought he had cleared the demon, but my God, that's exactly what happens to King and Carson typically. Just freak accidents. Watch this. We go on board.
Oh, the back end stepped out and he overcorrected. That's what it was.
That was a violent overcorrection from such a little bit of wheel input, in my opinion, but that was, oh my God. The good luck ran out for Carson as we go on board. Watch this. No idea it's coming.
21 to his inside as we're on board. And boonk. There it goes. And then gets run over from behind.
I mean, it literally looks like he broke a brake rotor and the car just cut back. That's incredible. I know that's not what happened, but.
You can see it there. He was drifting coming out of 2, trying to save it, overcorrected it, and he does have Bluetooth suspension. That right front is not attached.
Yeah, that was a heck of an impact. I just can't believe the way that car changed trajectory.
Good news is Jeff Carson is still back out there and still on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's not.
However,
look at this. Cue the Metallica Sandman to the point. 88 all the way. He was an outcast of the field. They sent him to the next county over early in this one. And he is the HMFIC of the Speedway right now. Put him in an F-14 Tomcat. He needs 2 torches behind that 88.
Here's the catch. He's on 25 lap older tires than our Coppola and company. Barry Sanders did not pit this time. Hunter Carmichael did not pit. Darren Mullins did not pit. Warren Young, Bobby Justice, Jordan Schmeets, Jamison Middlemiss all did not pit this time.
That you would think that would be prime picking for the 77 and 79 boys. But Barry Sanders, he likes those older tires. That's where he does his best damage or does his fastest lap times.
Yeah, but look at his best lap time. Compare that to Kenny Coppola's best lap time. There's a lot of meat there.
There is a lot of meat there, but there is a good amount of congestion between Barry Sanders and Coppola and Shane Davis as they're back in 8th and 9th. But, I mean, we've seen him slice and dice up through there in a half a lap or so. But nonetheless, great Great rebound by Barry Sanders Jr. I never thought he would be taking the restart as the leader after what happened to him as we just literally cut to green at the opening stages of this race. Carmichael going to keep him company there on the top side. Mullins and Young.
Well, here's the thing, Matt. That may have been the money stop. We're inside 60 to go here at Gateway.
I didn't even think of that, Tony. Well, they don't call you money man for nothing. As the 88 wants this restart to be straight cash homie. In the Geico restart zone, look at Barry send it. Ha ha! The 88's got a little mistletoe in it as well on takeoff. He's going to send it down to the corner. Carmichael's going to clear. P1 and P2 single file, the 64 and the 42. They're the first dogfight in action on the racetrack. That's for third spot. Look at the 42 flying high on the outside. He's going to get the spot from Mullins, or is he going to send it into the corner? Oh, you're darn right he does. And there's Kenny. Cue the Jaws music as he is side by side with the 41. They may have touched. 77 has to jump hard on the binders. Lee saw the tire smoke. What a job by the driver of the 77, not causing any calamity on the racetrack. Is that's going to hurt his forward progress a little bit, or maybe not. Here he is again, right literally on the rumble strips. He's got that Camry going places. That's the marketing slogan of that Camry car. He's in. Yellow flag back in the air.
Aw, damn it.
I think someone went lawnmower mode. Oh no, Carson's tore up big. There's a bumper cover laying there.
Carson, Del Monte, Spear, and Gallimore. All hell is just about to break loose. Yep. Belmonte got sent. I can promise you Justin Belmonte got sent.
Yeah, he got sent into the grass, and that's all she wrote. I mean, there's no grip in the grass. You're holding on for the ride at that point.
This is what the Eye in the Sky and the iRacing blimp picked up. No. All by his lonesome. And comes back up the track, and unfortunately, it's the Halachi crunch between the 6 and 7, annihilating the 81.
Oh, you hate it for Jeff Carson. I mean, now Lady Luck's just playing with that, man. I would have thought for sure that the curse was broken. And then that freak accident there with the 51. And now his crunch berries are, or his battleship, I should say, has now been sunk back to back.
Well, go back and watch the old Happy Days episode where Fonzie falls in love with a female demolition derby driver.
That probably went over like a Kirby salesman in church.
Gallimore just was trying to avoid it. Too much rear brake bias, and he eats the wall. Good grief.
Nose on Gallimore's 11. Looks like he has a fade.
Yeah, that's a hurting unit right now.
Really haven't seen that that configuration yet, but my gosh, Gallimore really took it to the front of that Camaro. There's Carson behind him. Heartbreak for these two again. Late in this one.
Unreal. Go almost the entire second stage caution free. Here we are, third caution of this stage.
The Pug Nose Special 88 continues to shine.
What?
The Pug Nose Special.
Okay.
The nose on the 88.
I'll go with that one. You can see it there. Holy cow.
Yes, you can. Shouldn't work, but it's working for him.
Hey, RS button boxes to the front in any sim rig. got to thank our good friends at Team Watson Racing Setups as well. That crew did provide a baseline setup that they were able to whip up on the fly for this new physics model. Just unfortunately, a lot of drivers aren't able to get a handle on it.
That's how dedicated Team Watson is to their drivers. I mean, they were on the radio in practice. I mean, doing everything they could to help out. They get this setup right. I mean, that's how devoted they are.
They were on the radio, and they were also sharing setups. If you look in the setup folder right now, there's about 8 different setups from Watson Racing, all as an attempt to get driver comfort involved.
I mean, if you want a partner that's behind you, I mean, I don't know what says that or screams that any louder than Team Watson and what they've done here tonight on that front, as those lights are now out on the pace car. And Sloppy Jalopy, the 88, do it again. Carmichael on the outside.
Oh, man.
Darren Mullins, Mr. Freaky Fast Coppola.
Why do I have a feeling that between you and me we're getting this? Why do I have a feeling, Matt, that between you and me we're getting this video demonetized? Anywho, Barry Sanders, Hunter Carmichael, here we go. Is the pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn? There he goes. Sanders going to bring him into the Geico restart zone. Here we go. What type of restart can Carmichael get to try to hold with him?
Cue the Metallica again.
Coppola just gave Carmichael a shot.
I mean, as Sanders sent it, Coppola sent Carmichael. It's well spotted.
He's like, I'm going. You're going with me whether you're ready or not, Junior.
You better hold it.
And unfortunately,
you better hold it straight.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Darren Mullins going to drop back from here. Coppola now all over the back bumper of Carmichael. As a matter of fact, this is what Hunter Carmichael sees out of his rearview mirror. Carmichael
may have pulled out of the way because he didn't want to go for the ride again.
You're probably not wrong.
Could you imagine Carmichael? You're probably like deer in the headlights there on the restart as they were teamed up. And there he is, Sanders, going to start making all that short hair off of that pug car in front of him start to shake and rattle. Here it goes. He's going to turn it to the inside. Drag race going down the front stretch.
Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable. Look at the drive and look at the fight of Barry Sanders on the 88. I mean, he gave it everything he had, but Coppola is just like a slot car out there compared to everyone else.
New quick time of the event, including practice and qualifying, 34.425, Kenny Coppola.
Okay, you don't have to run so much nitromethane in the fuel mixture, bud. Look at that rocket. He is gone. Fresh air now. He is checked out on everyone like it's Christmas coming early.
One guy who's struggling ever so slightly is the 79 who started outside row number 1. That's Shane Davis. Darren Mullins almost into the wall. As he's now in a Davis sandwich. Chris Davis starts to claw his way back forward. But what about the 41 of Jordan Schmeets? Currently up into 4th, trying to hunt down Carmichael. He's trying to hunt the Hunter. As Schmeets, currently your biggest mover of the event at plus 19.
Yeah, Schmeets is schmookering him out there tonight, up 19 spots, doing it in stealth mode. I mean, Tony, 19 spots, that is a ton. And that 41 continues to just fly under the radar inside the top 5. Hunter Carmichael just about a car length and a half in front of him.
Well, you always say cue the Jaws music. No, when it's Jordan Schmeets, it's cue the Elmer Fudd singing Kill the Wabbit, because he is hunting the Hunter right now.
See if we
And
can
I
cue
think
that up there.
I think I just broke Matt again, folks.
KO'd.
There we go. So we got a slugfest going on back there, just outside the top 10. That was getting ugly between Justin Sorrell, Justin Belmonte, Aaron Matthews, and Tim Wortman. They were 4 wide coming out of turn 2. They got that sorted out very quickly and very hospitably, I might add, as we've got a little bit of separation starting to form. Currently working 119 of 60. Matt, if I can have you check and see what the fuel fill percentage is, that'll tell us if we've already seen the money stop for some of these guys.
On it, boss. You got it.
It's Warren Young and Brandon Zimmerman going door to door. That is your battle for 11th, as Nick King has a little bit of breathing room behind him. Zimmerman to 11th, Warren Young back to 12, going to cross him over, going into turn number 1. Young tries to send it too far back. Zimmerman sends it even harder from the second lane and keeps the position. We're through that session of where these tires start to fall off. You're up on the steering wheel, whether you want to be or not. And Matt, all you had to do was hit the spacebar and check info for the race. You didn't have to jump in.
It wasn't there for me.
Okay, fair enough. But what is the fuel fill?
95 laps on a full tank sitting on pit road.
Yeah, that doesn't count because you're not moving.
So I'm going to take that. Let's take what? I'm going to say they can probably go 75 laps.
Hold on. There is no fuel fill.
So they're getting 20 gallons.
We're getting a full 20 gallons, so some of these guys might be able to make it. The guys that came down on lap 103 just might be able to make it.
Oh, this is really going to get interesting if that's the case. Oh, the 42 gets up in the air as he clocks the wall. The 5's getting a push. Hello, thank you, buddy.
And look at the nose on Wortman's car right now. That's caved in worse than Barry Sanders' car is.
Yeah, that thing's been through war.
Uh-oh, here we go. Hunter Carmichael's in trouble. As Schmeets has gotten by him, here comes Holden. He's looking to bring Bowen and Shane Davis with him. And Hunter Carmichael not comfortable on that second lane right now, as he just hemorrhaged 4 spots in a lap. And Schmeets is checked out. Schmeets all over Barry Sanders for second right now.
Yeah, Schmeets has got the magic sauce right now out there in that 41 because he is coming a 35.01 his last lap. Barry Sanders 35.11. The only person on the racetrack faster than Schmeets,
Kenny Capola.
34.90.
Now, the thing to keep in mind, Sanders and Jordan, Sanders and Schmeets both did not come down under that last caution. Sanders came down back on the stage break on lap 80. Schmeets came down on 89. These two guys both might have to pit again.
Yeah, they very well could. And with some of these other competitors in the field, may be able to go to distance. You know, they may be praying for another caution here.
They absolutely are.
But how about Barry Sanders with that arrow and all? I mean, he is just up there in everyone's business.
These guys were saying that the car, it had a push going into the corner. With that parachute on the front of that car now, you got to be giving him more frontal grip. Especially when you take a look at that front spoiler, it looks like it's frowning. That's letting more air under the car to create more downforce.
Just what he would want in this situation, and you're right, under braking into the corner, it was a plow truck. You pick up the throttle, it was instantaneously the other way. You're driving it, holding on for life off the right rear.
You're driving a top fuel funny car, which I might add, iRacing, since you want to break everything else, just give us the drag strip. It's on the other side of the grandstands, for crying out loud.
Or heck, just let Barry Sanders figure it out. I mean, that car shouldn't be performing this well, but it is. It's getting the job done. I mean, that guy is ripping the center of the corner. I mean, it looks great.
Another guy who's on a good recovery drive right now is that 6 of Justin Belmonte, as he is starting to get back into the top 10, but that Kevin Harvick-inspired car in front of him might have something to say about it. Looks like Justin Sorrell may have gotten into the wall again. That was Brandon Zimmerman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Zimmerman got up there, gave it a little bit of a love tap. No harm, no foul. You can see a little bit of that cheese grater action on the side of the 6, as you like to say, Tony. He gets some more of it right there. A little more cheese grater action.
Well,
Belmonte.
You know, the body shop's going to earn its money tomorrow.
Got to give the car a little bit of character, right?
No. No, because we want to be able to resell it to some of the smaller teams and whatnot.
That's uniqueness. That's a sales point. No, I mean, that builds value.
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does. You just got to know how to sell it.
Okay, so Vin Diesel's head got caved in here by the rock. Jesus. That'd be about the only way you could sell it is Vin Diesel's face print in the side of the car. Oh!
Oh, boy. Okay. No more talking about selling it.
Oh, no. Ooh. What are you doing? Justin Belmonte giving me a heart attack down the back straightaway.
I think he gave himself a heart attack as well, as that was not in the plans. And that's going to allow Aaron Matthews to get right up on the back bumper, really let him claw his way in to battle for this position. Right outside the top 10 there, Tony. That's battle for 11th.
Yeah, it is. As he continues to backslide a little bit. Another side-by-side battle here between another pug-nose special and a non-aero compromised car, as Wortman takes that very wounded Ford Mustang. Jesus, look at it. Things looks like it hit a telephone pole. And much like Barry Sanders Jr., who sits in second, you know, Wortman, first of all, Wortman came down on 103. So he's one of the you might be able to make it from here drivers.
You know, Tony, if someone wanted one of these trending nose jobs, what's the best way to do that out on the racetrack?
Don't brake.
Fair enough.
Like you're watching right now with King and Belmonte, King shouldn't have lifted going into 3.
Right.
Cave the nose of your car in on the back bumper of somebody else. A, you ruin their diffuser. B, you cave the front end of your car in, much like Barry Sanders and Tim Wortman Jr. And C, you get a free caution out of it and get to put fresh tires on your car.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if anyone else has caught on to that, and they may try to
we'll find out Sunday if anybody found that exploit.
Yes, we will.
But there's a lot more stuff to hit at Sonoma for Sunday Night NASCAR.
Yeah, there's a lot. We've got elevation changes as well there. Look at the 5 there getting squirrely coming off the corner. I mean, he has been up on the wheel all race long. All these guys have, for Christ's sake. That 12 Aaron Matthews, you know he's a wheel man in that race car.
Yeah, but check this out. Look at the gap between Barry Sanders and Kenny Coppola. 3 seconds. Three and a quarter seconds.
You should put a clapper paint scheme on that car and change it to Gapper, the Gapper. Just to, why not? That is just unreal, Tony, how he's able just to...
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Matt. As the storm continues to rage on in Florida, I think we just lost Matt again. But right now, Barry Sanders, Jordan Schmidt, your closest battle on track. It just so happens to be for second, as we are 25 to go this time by. And this is what Barry Sanders sees. That's Kenny Coppola at the other end of the front straightaway. Yeah, I said other end.
It's almost like he's in a different class car out there on the racetrack than anybody else. But outside of that, I mean, what a drive by Barry Sanders. Schmeets, Jordan, he's having a heck of a run here in the 41. Probably the best run of the season for him. And I mean, he's looking to take over second position from the Sandman himself.
Well, he does have 9 laps newer tires. Not that that matters this deep into a run.
Well, that can certainly help.
Especially with as hard as Sanders is having to wheel that car right now. Here we go.
Drag race.
Sanders going to let him go and slot back in. Look to cross him over. Look at all the grip Sanders had.
Don't let it slip. Keep the grip. That's what Barry Sanders tried to do there.
And Kyle Holden there as well. Here comes Holden. Holden, one of the drivers that was down on 103. He's within. He's in that you might be able to make it from here territory. As is Wayne Bowen. Sanders is fading. Yeah, that car is whooped.
It's really good there, I think, on fresh tires, but then as they start to fade a little bit, then that arrow really starts, I think, to plague the balance of that race car.
He's on the oldest tires on track right now.
I mean, it's like a light switch went off in that car, Tony. It went from good to, like, horrible.
And that's the new tire model. Summed right up.
Sanders now back to, I believe now he's going to slot himself into 5th.
Sixth.
No, 7th. 6th on the racetrack. Thank you, Tony.
And because of all that, Coppola now has a 5-second lead. Gotta be kidding me. Yep, 5 seconds.
Cue the Wild Thing music. I'm sure you've seen Major League.
I hate this effing song.
I knew it. Tony, I had to do it to you. I had to try and break you back.
No, I hate this effing song. That's from the movie.
Exactly. Oh! No, he got a little McSwirly. The 6 got into it with the wall. Did not want to release Justin Belmonte. It got him on the front corner and the back. Right around the diffuser on that Mustang as well. That wall went up there and snagged the front of the Mustang and then took the back before it let go. Able to remain its track position, though, still in 10th place, up 6 spots from where he started. There's Shane and Darren going at it again.
Yeah, the only
2 drivers.
Shane and Darren. No, Chris. That's Chris Davis and Darren Mullen.
Oh, thank you. Chris Davis and Darren Mullins.
Wrong Davis, bud.
Thank you.
Close. Close!
Yeah, with the weather troubles, I got names. I got scattering around all over the place, so I'm only working with half sometimes, doing the best I can.
Close. Just a bit outside. Ball 5. Ball 10. And I broke Matt again. It's Nick King and Aaron Matthews going after it. 4-on-5 action. King misses the braking zone going into one that's going to open the door for Sorrell to get to him as well. Battle for second starting to really get hot and heavy now, though, as Jordan Schmeets is looking back at Kyle Holden. Matt, come on back. Come on back when you stop laughing.
I'm trying to.
18 to go.
Schmeets is schmookering these guys. And just as I say that, he kind of slides up the racetrack. Holden's going to try and hold him up there. Keep him honest. Drag race down the back. Here comes the Camry. I can kind of see what's going on here right now. 59 is going to have the advantage going into the corner. That's going to reel back George Schmitz to the third place position, who is now under siege from the 78 of Bowen. Schmidt's going to lose 2 spots here in half a lap.
As Shane Davis pancaked the wall coming off of 4 that time. 17 to go. Schmitz, I don't think he can make it from there. It's going to be tough. I mean, he was last down on lap 89. That's pushing it.
Hopefully he's been clutching it. And I don't even know if that's enough, Tony.
No, because he's been running up towards the front.
Yeah, you're right. No way. I mean, we've said it before, and we've seen him do it, though.
And we've also seen him run out on the cooldown lap.
Absolutely have. We've seen all variations of it. And you're right, that 79 did pancake the wall there. That Camaro might be hurt just a little bit. Is Shane P. Davis there in 5th now? As all roads lead to Kenny Coppola in the 77.
Who now has a 6.5 second gap.
Yep, he has basically went space shuttle status. And he's halfway to the Pacific Coast. There he is, checking in with the 77. Who enjoys a almost 7-second interval over the 59 of Kyle Holden. The good news is for Kenny, with that type of a lead, he can really nurse that fuel. He can really play that fuel mileage game now. Because he has all kinds of daylight.
Yeah, right.
Himself.
Kenny Coppola lift? I don't think so. Dude's got 1 speed and it's kill. As Davis has gotten by the 41. Bowen has gotten by Holden has gotten by Bowen. And Davis is starting to come alive with 14 to go. Now, it's going to take a miracle for him to catch Kenny Coppola. He's out to a 7-second lead now. It looks like everybody behind him is in fuel conservation mode. Now, the question is, especially with the lap times Coppola's turning, he's the fastest car on track right now.
I guarantee you that man is
by 0.2.
I guarantee you in the interview, if it ends out like this, Tony, you can ask him, and I promise you that man is saving fuel. It doesn't seem like he is. I promise you he is saving fuel in that race car.
Well, let's go on board to the Tattletale.
Let's see. Downshift action there, rolling it.
9,000 RPMs doesn't look like he's saving fuel, bud.
Look how late, though, he's...
That's the way this car is. Oh, crap. Oh. Well, there goes the lead.
We were on board with Kenny Coppola. Disaster strikes on the racetrack.
Looks like Brandon Zimmerman had an issue.
There he is in the 65 ride. Oh, my goodness.
That car didn't even turn.
That looks almost identical what happened to, was it the 51 who did the same thing?
21.
Just about? 21, thank you. That is just unreal.
That was a blown tire.
Yeah, you could kind of hear it before the car took off on him. You're right, Tony.
You could hear a very faint pop. Well then, there goes pit strategy for everybody. If Coppola's going down for fresh shoes, you got to go with him at this point, or else you're never going to keep up.
Someone probably stayed out.
No, nobody on the lead lap stayed out.
Wow, everyone bit with the 77. No, I can't believe it. No one tried to dial it up on the. I mean, he's just that fast. I mean, you have to play his game tonight.
Absolutely.
Everyone comes into their pit boxes. Crew going to work on the 77. You can see the side of the car coming up. 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles, 2 cans. So not that you need 2 cans to make it to the end, but they'll make sure they get enough fuel in it in case we go into green-white overtime situation here.
16 to Middle Miss getting back on the lead lap is Kyle Holden, actually. Kyle Holden and Shane Davis took 2. Looks like Coppola. Yep. Kyle Holden, Shane Davis, and Chris Davis all took 2.
Well, see, this used to work with the old model, Tony. Now
But
we're going to see
the question
how it
is, which 2 did they take?
Right. That's very good point, Tony. But still, I love having the oversized lug nuts on those race cars to go out there and try a bold move like this, because this is what you have to do if you kind of want to stun the 77, because anytime he gets a whiff of the lead, I mean, he's gone. He's light years ahead of everybody. How do you beat him? You throw the Hail Mary at it. I
don't know how much I agree with that 2-tire stop, though. Especially with how strong Coppola's been on 4.
Well, here's the thing. That 2-tire stop used to work really good before this new update.
Oh, yeah, but with as loose as the car is, you almost have to take those as lefts to try to tighten the car up a little.
I didn't even think of that, Tony. That's why you're on the pit box, and, you basically just kind of tell me how to drive the car, and I hold on for dear life.
Well, rights loosen the car up, lefts tighten the car up. And with the way this car is, you'd almost have to take lefts, and try to Doug Flutie the thing.
Did you just pull a number 7 in there?
I Boston College.
That is awesome. Oh, Flutie magic. That guy there, what a sensation to watch on the football field.
Arguably, as far as past quarterbacks go, second best quarterback ever in Bills history.
For sure. And the NFL didn't want him. They did everything they could to keep him out.
Oh, they did. And finally, the Bills went, you know what? F you, we want him.
I mean, he took a team that was 0-3 to the playoffs. And thank you. Oh, what's his name? Then he became the coach of the Cowboys.
Don't even talk to me about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's the reason why we lost that year. Putting Rob Johnson back in. Burn. But anyways, we got a race to call here.
I hated him as a coach. Ask you. Doug Des Moines.
Yeah, don't get me started on that, man.
I'm not leaving. 2 years later, I'm going to the Bills, folks. Dick.
Oh boy.
That's the only time I ever hoped the Bills lost, is when he was their coach, because I was so pissed he left SU. Anyways, from one football match to a chess match, 8 laps to go. Kyle Holden, Shane Davis, and Chris Davis all gambling on a 2-tire stop. Kenny Coppola and company, everybody else took 4 tires.
Do these cars even fire off on the front row? We're about to find out.
Well, we saw what Old Tires did with the 5 on the outside. Let's see what Shane Davis can do as Holden brings him into the restart zone, drops the hammer, and we are back underway. Coppola giving a shot to Davis on the front stretch.
Oh, my.
3 wide. Coppola gets sent.
No. Hold on to it.
He tried to save it. And immediately rage quit. Yep.
Go back and take a look at this restart here. Gives a big shot to his teammate there on the top side. Got the 29 underneath him.
Looks to go 3 wide. Doesn't realize that Chris Davis is there. And immediately Alt F4s out of the event.
Probably did that to avoid probably having the caution thrown.
Yeah, it was too late. He was already around backwards with cars coming.
Yeah, you're right, Tony.
That caution had already flown by the time he unfortunately could get to the button.
You're right. That was a rage quit.
Well, no, he was probably trying, but unfortunately, as he's reaching, the caution comes out.
Right. I mean, I shouldn't say rage, but he has to be disappointed at that point, right? I mean, he's had the car of the race.
Oh yeah, and
out there dominating, and
there's not enough time for him to get back to the front of the field. So, five to go. We should see a natural green-white checker.
Well, this changes everything because now anyone in this top 5, top 6 can win this race. Kyle Holden, Shane Davis, Wayne Bowen, Jordan Schmitz, Hunter Carmichael, Barry Sanders in the nose makeover special. He is in 6th.
And look who just got the lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. Oh, that is going to make one young lady very happy.
Yeah.
Well, John Bender getting one of his laps back, I should say.
Oh, I thought John Bender was going to be on the lead lap.
Nope.
Deserves to be up there for sure.
He absolutely does, because that accident was through no fault of his own. But hey,
Jeff Carson holding on to 11th.
I wasn't going to mention it, but now you did. We're going to show him, and look who's holding down 9th for Team Watson Racing. The king himself, Nick King.
The king of Nerf bars.
And look who he's right next to, someone he hasn't gotten away from all night long. King and Matthews have just gone to war with each other here tonight at Worldwide Tech Raceway at Gateway. In case you're wondering why they call this joint Gateway, yeah, there's the arch. That's the main front stretch grandstand. That's the arch in the background, folks. Mississippi River is the only thing that's in the way.
Right, but like you said, you gave us the geography lesson at the opening. Don't get confused. This track technically in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the arch is right there.
And another fun little fact, when I was driving over the road tractor trailer, you see all those tractor trailers parked at the bottom left of your screen, folks? Yeah, that's a Flying J truck stop, which is where the company that I work for. As a matter of fact, the day that they were scanning this, that third red truck from the bottom on the grass side is my truck.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest Flying J's, I think, on that side of the country, isn't it, Tony?
It's one of them. But there's a drop yard for the company I work for, who shall remain nameless, because my mom always told me if you can't say something good about someone, don't say anything at all, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, that third truck in line, I believe, is my truck, because I was there taking a 10-hour break the day that they scanned this.
Well, on my Mustang right across the country, we stopped there. Next thing we know, we spent 4 hours in there. I came out of there with a handheld and a CB, and had all kinds of fun with that the rest of the way.
Or as we call them, flying pilots, because Flying J and pilot truck stops kind of merged. So it just became a blur as to which one is which, and I forget which one that is.
Take your Pepsi 8C, Zantac 75, whatever you need, because those lights are out.
I already did.
Oh, Nelly, hold on.
Natural green-white checker finish. Holden's going to lead him to green. Pace car is in. He has the button. A very hungry Shane Davis to his outside. Into the Geico restart zone they go. Holden drops the hammer, and here comes Bowen.
Oh my, look at the restart. Are you serious? Look at the drive on the outside. Here comes Bowen. Shane Davis, he's fighting up there. Bowen's going to get him. Look at the run in the Camry, the drive off the corner. Davis fighting hard on the top shelf, though. He is right there with him in tow. Bowen able to outperform him a little bit into the corner. Is going to get a little bit of real estate breathing room there. Shane Davis rotates that bottom really well off. And look at the 41 of Schmitz. on the top side, getting around Carmichael.
White flag in the air. We are racing back to checkers, Matt.
Racing back to checkers or wreckers one more time. It's the Bowen Davis special here. 1-2 at the front.
And they're wrecking in the back.
But we took the white flag, which means we're going to send it all the way back around the racetrack.
Oh, no. Carson ate the wall in one.
Carson ran out of Holy Grail late in this one, unfortunately. But Kyle Holden, who's going to hold the keys to Gateway as he crosses the line in first. Are you serious? Kyle Holden with a thrilling win. Wayne Bowen, Shane Davis, Jordan Schmeets, Hunter Carmichael, and what a drive by Barry Sanders. That rounds out your top 6. But Kyle Holden held on to the end, able to outpass some of the best in the business, including Shane P. Davis, and gets the dub in Gateway.
As we're watching what happened to Carson, looks like Warren Young involved in it too. Carson locks him up. Oh, Nick Kang, there goes the 42, there goes the 81. Oh, both of them annihilated.
Smoked and poked, unfortunately.
Well, that's never a good thing. But getting back to the front of this piece is, bear with us a quick second here, folks.
That drive by the 59 to hold it.
Oh, that was absolutely magical to watch. As go ahead and talk amongst yourselves for a quick second while I do my job. The peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Converse. As there we go, Matt. I believe you have this. There he goes, Matt. I believe you've got the Chi-Town Hustler with you now.
Captain Smoke 'em all, Kyle Holden in the 59. Comes up there and steals one with an epic restart and finish here from Gateway. How were you able to get it done, bud?
Honestly, just those last couple of cautions at the end. We took 2, try to take the lead away from Kenny, and it ended up working. And last tire model on this one, if you took 2, you were clear to basically just floor it out of exit. And kind of seems the same way with this one. You can really just grip up on with 2 tires, but there's less than like 10 or 20 to go. So we took 2 and chanced it and gave us the win.
And I love that call because that's what you needed to do if you wanted to go up there and challenge the 77. You had to go big or go home. And I love the call. And you go out there and you get it done. You know, Kyle, let me shift gears here for a minute. From the start of this race, we heard it in the different discords throughout the course of the opening. The first opening segment of that race, we had a lot of cautions. You guys completely changed the whole dynamic of this racetrack. You figured this car out and put on an epic show. How are you guys able to do that? I mean, and just understand this race car, the new model, and make it work in one race and just completely change the product on the racetrack like that. How are you guys able to do that?
I think it just comes a lot down to the experience that the top guys have in here. We run a lot. We put a lot of practice in over the years, and we kind of just know how to drive the track and where iRacing wants us to put the car. And once we put it there, it kind of just seems to work either way. But there's little small things that you got to kind of quickly learn when there's a new tire model that comes out about how much gas and brake you can give it. But it seems to be somewhat similar to last one. Just maybe you can't push as hard, and the car's just a little bit slower overall.
I mean, well said, and you guys do it so well. It's such a privilege to be up here once again in the booth watching you guys go about your business and put on back-to-back epic performances week in and week out. I got to ask you, though, when you took those 2 tires, any idea it was gonna work, or was it just all or nothing at that point?
It was kind of just a hope because it was the first time I've taken 2 tires since the update. So we were just me and Shane, and I think Chris took 2. We were just kind of hoping that it would have worked, and it seems to work a little bit. But this track might be 4 tire dominant.
Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, not afraid to go big or go home. Goes with 2, goes out and scorches the field, gets the dub in thrilling fashion from Gateway. He's the winner, driver of the 59. That is Kyle Holden.
And joining me now is the biggest fibber in the field, Wayne Bowen. We talked before the race. You said the car was completely out to lunch. How's that lunch taste now, my friend, as you come up to the podium?
You got me mixed up with somebody else. We didn't talk before the race, but I was out to lunch and made a ton of changes to the car, and even on the pit stops, just kept adjusting on it. And I felt like I had pretty good long run speed. Was just really trying to take care of it, which all the cautions too, so helped us out. But I had 4 freshies there at the end. The other guys took 2 there, and I just needed just another couple laps probably to get by Kyle. But 2 tires, he was strong, and he was able to get through pretty much a green, white checkered. So congrats to him. And we come home second tonight.
Well, it's a very strong run out of the 78 team all night long. Next week, though, we've got a little bit of a different challenge. We're going to hit you with some rights and some lefts as we go to the first road course of the season up in wine country, Sonoma, California. What are your thoughts going into that race next week?
I'm really going to have to log some laps and put the time in to get where I can, hopefully even be able to run in the top 10. Just road courses aren't my forte. I really like the short tracks more than anything. But, we'll get back after it over the weekend and leading into the race, and we'll get a bunch of practice in and just try to get where I can just be smooth, turn decent times, and just keep the car on the track. I think last year when we hit Sonoma, I maybe had a top 5, and I just basically out-survived a lot of people, just let them go out there and run hard and, make mistakes and just make the passing easy for me. So if I can just keep it on track and make no mental mistakes in and out of the pits good and just, again, hope for a top 10.
Sounds good. Wayne, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose to go celebrate that podium tonight?
Oh, no doubt. TWRS, Team Watson Racing Setups, great, man. Just we got awesome setups. Thanks, Kenny Coppola, the sets here and building them, and he keeps all us guys fast. He had a little bad luck there at the end, hated that. But, we got Martin Sports and Warrior Wraps, and just thank those guys. Appreciate y'all coming in, and doing the race for us as well, and just look forward to getting to work next week. Go have my hands full, but I'm going to do best I can.
Sounds good. Wayne Bowen, thank you so much for joining us. Podium finish, second place. Congratulations. We'll see you next week in Sonoma.
Thank you, sir.
And Matt, I believe you've got our points leader with you now.
How's it going, guys?
Do we have Matt?
And all.
Nope.
Looks like Matt's having connection issues again. So Shane Davis, talk us through that strategy. 2 tires. Which two did you take?
Took right side tires. I was hoping to be in control of the race there, kind of like Kyle was, but he beat me to it and put us in a tough spot.
Just how out to lunch was this car during the first stage?
It was a good. We just didn't get the green flag runs that we needed. We are a very good long run car. I really feel like we had the second best car there, especially on the long run. Kenny and I was pretty well matched in lap times at the end of the run before the caution come out. Just with this new tire model, this track is tough enough already to drive, and this new tire model made it even slicker out. So it was a rough race tonight.
So you're saying the new tire model is like driving on a hockey puck, basically?
Yeah, it's pretty slick out there.
Black ice.
There you go. But Shane, same thing I asked Wayne. We go into the first road course this season. What are your thoughts going into Sonoma next week?
I feel pretty good about it. We had a good run at Coda earlier this year. We got second to Kenny there.
That's right. Coda was earlier. I apologize.
Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. I know Wayne and a couple other good guys have joined the league since then, so I know it's going to be a little tougher than it was towards the beginning of the year, but I feel good. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoy the road courses and learning and growing each week.
Very good. Shane, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
I got a big shout out to Team Watson Racing Setups. Kenny did a good job. Spent a lot of time right before the race just updating this new setup with the new tire model. DBR Racing, Davis Brothers Racing. I got to thank my spotter, Brandon Bikey. A bunch of them guys and teammates for helping out today. Other than that, that's it.
Shane Davis, your points leader. Congratulations on another podium on the season. We'll see you next week in Sonoma.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
And that is going to do it for us. Putting another one in the books. Kyle Holden, Wayne Bowen, Shane Davis, the top three. Jordan Schmeech, your biggest mover at plus 19, coming home in fourth. Hunter Carmichael hangs on for fifth. Barry Sanders and the Pug Nose Special, as my partner called it, coming home in sixth. Chris Davis, Tim Wortman, Darren Mullins, and Aaron Matthews rounding out your top 10. Nick Atwood coming home in 11th. Justin Sorrell, Jameson Miss, Paul Gallimore, Justin Belmonte, Warren Young, Jeff Carson, Nick King coming home in 18th. 19th going to John Bender. King being scored as the last car on the lead lap. John Bender in 19th. Kenny Coppola in 20th. Brandon Zimmerman, Chris Spear, Bobby Justice, Chad Sullivan, Darren Mills, Ryan Huff, Caden Nofrey, and Garrett Crawford rounding out your finishers. Matt Metler up here in the booth with me. Ed Boyles Jr. apparently got the Dairy Queen Award at some point.
Yeah, I missed that during the race, but someone went to DQ after all. But Tony, I mean, all the ups, the highs and the lows of that race, and these guys, once again, I mean, even battling against a force that they really have no control over, still find a way to pilot this race car, to virtually fix it in front of our eyes and go out there and put on a stamped classic that these guys throw up each and every night in prime time. Heartbroken again for Sasquatch there. I mean, he was lights out. What he was able to do with that car, that's another story. But what a thriller. I didn't see this coming. But then again, we probably should have known all along.
You're not wrong, but that is going to do it for us here tonight for the Moonshiners Racing League Cup Series. I'm Tony Trapasso. He's Matt Metler, and I'm reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a huge favor. Don't play in traffic. Stay safe. God bless. Good night, everybody.